Okay, in terms of what to wear for work pants, I've got a couple of Carhartts here that you're looking at right now. They are called utility pants, but I was looking for something that was kind of like a carpenter pant that had a loop on it, but also had pockets that you'd normally find on pants that are carpenter's pants. And the thing about these is they're canvas, and one of them is a regular utility pant. This one here is the Rugged Flex. I'll show you the numbers on these when I turn them over and whatnot. But the main thing I want to talk about is most of my stuff I talk about is affordable. I was looking for affordable. So I would wait until there were sales, clearances, and then in Carhartt, for these two, I went to Carhartt Reworked. If you don't know about Carhartt Reworked, what you have are basically brand new or mildly worn wear. And I picked these up, it's been some time now. I picked these up for anywhere between 24 and 38 bucks, okay? Which is a far cry from what they run retail, not on sale. So I want, if you just look at some of these here, I mean, these are basically brand new, folks. And you can't, yeah, you know, in my opinion, if you're on a budget and you're looking for quality, which Carhartt is quality, you can't go wrong. They have triple stitch seams here on the outside. Now, the belt loops on these, you can really, if you go to Carl Morawski's website and do some searches, he goes into far greater detail on the stress levels of all of these. I'm just looking at stuff to give you an idea of what might be affordable and how you can get it. The belt loops here are not reinforced, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean by that. Pockets are pretty generous on the back, I would have to say. These are the B11s, okay? So these are the B11s, and again, pretty much brand new. Now, the stuff like this I would wear in the shop, but I you know, fall, cooler days. As I go through the work pants, I'll show you that what I really need for most of the year, or at least half of the year, is stuff that's breathable. And if you know, there certainly is a lot of time that you're going to be needing really rugged canvas work pants. But when it comes to work pants that wick sweat and are breathable, man, I'll tell you what, it's really difficult to find a good quality pair. So for the most part, you know, while I might wear these in summer, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm overhauling an engine, doing something, I'm on the ground, I'm under a car or truck, something like that, or I'm into something really rugged, I'm going to wear these. But underneath, I'm going to have, as you'll see, I'm going to have some wick sweating underwear underneath these things. But they're not necessarily for really hot and humid weather. Nevertheless, really good quality. The B11s here from Carhartt Reworked. Again, there's hardly any spots. Matter of fact, on these, there's absolutely no blemishes. And I think I got these for around 30 bucks. Now, for the Carhartt Rugged Flex, these have a little bit of a spandex in them, while the other ones are 100% canvas duck. These, I believe, are a little bit different, and it's really hard. These are made in Bangladesh. 104495 DKH. Loose fits. These also from Carhartt's Reworked site. If I remember, there's a blemish on these. I don't remember where, but all in all, pretty little spot right there. All in all, little, you know, pretty decent and durable. A little bit of stretch to them, as you can see. But on the loops here, you can probably see this. This is a nice feature. The belt loops go up and under. This is a stronger construction. So everything else is double stitched. These are triple stitched on the outside, I believe. No. Yes, they are. Triple stitched on the outside. Inside seam is double stitched. But look, for you know, not very much money. You know, it's a little bit lighter weight than these. These are heavier. I'll try and find the weights if I get a chance to go back and look them up. Somewhere, I mean, these things are going to be anywhere between 6.5 to 9.5 weighted ounce duck canvas cotton. So, button here, I didn't say where these utility pants came from. They are made in Mexico. So the first ones are made in Mexico. The rugged flex that I got off Carhartt reworked are made in Bangladesh. Same pockets. Everything here is similar except for one thing. The belt loop is a little smaller and it's also reinforced. It's reinforced into the stitching here on this one, whereas the other one is not. The pockets on these, I think they're about the same size. But again, a little bit lighter. Maybe you'd use these in a little bit warmer climate. So as far as the Carhartt is concerned, that's it. That's all I've gotten so far. Now, the ones I initially started out with, and you can see these, I've worn these, like, I wore these all summer when I was rebuilding my truck. These are Blue Mountains. Now, the Blue Mountain is from Tractor Supply. They are made in Bangladesh. And I'm not sure, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure of the weight on these things. They really don't say, except that they're 100% cotton. It's a really, really light canvas. This is okay. If you're in the shop, this is an okay summer type of shop pant. Pockets are smaller and tapered. But the nice thing about Blue Mountain, even though they're dirt cheap, like 17 bucks for these things, 18 bucks, something like that. They reinforce the belt loops here, which is, you know, kind of cool for a price point this of this caliber. The way these things are stitched is they're riveted, which is also kind of cool. And of course, it's also a riveted metal piece there. But it's, you got the rivets on the reinforcements on the pockets. Look, if you're looking for something that is really, really on the budget that you want to buy new, Blue Mountain, it's not going to last you forever. These have lasted, be honest with you, I'm surprised at how long these have lasted. And they have lasted me 2 years now, working in them in the shop almost every day. Double stitched instead of triple stitched here, which is a weaker weave. But, you know, look, it's you know, if you're on a budget and you're looking for something, then these pants would be okay in a warmer climate. You know, they're going to stick to you when it's humid, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. And they're not going to wick sweat away from you. But a decent, these are a decent shop pant. I wouldn't call them a utility pant. They're just your basic 5-pocket shop pant that you want to knock around in. You can't go wrong with Blue Mountain. One thing I should also add, there's no gussets in the crotch on any of these here, as you can see. No gussets, which is going to be important, as I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, a couple of more in my collection that I've had for a while are Dickies. Now, I like the Dickies. The one thing I will say about Dickies, these are the only pair I have. Dickies never fit me good for whatever reason. You know, even if I size up, there's problems with them. But I do wear these on occasion. They're double-kneed, which I kind of like. And they have a pocket in the side here. These are loose fit too, and they're tight on me. So they're my size, and they're still tight. These are what are the size of these? It doesn't say, but these are the P387027. It's 65% polyester, 35% cotton. And as you can see, there's spots on them, and I've worn them a bit. I'm not a fan of this kind of attachment here, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, they're okay. They're not really for summer. I would use them in mild weather. And I use these as pretty much a shop pant. You know, the hidden pockets with the buttons on the back. And then the other pocket on the back doesn't have any enclosure on it. The belt loops are, trying to think here, they are sewn up under, so the belt loops are pretty generous actually. They're wide, which is nice. Now, another one that's sort of out of left field is Legendary Outfitters. I got these because I happened to be in Costco and they were a screaming song. This is cotton and elastane, so they have flex to them here, as you can see. Cell phone pocket here on the side, or whatever you want to use it for. I got these because the only thing I had at the time were Blue Mountains. That was it. And I had those Dickies over there. So I got these. The Dickies are made in Bangladesh. These are made in Bangladesh. Everything's made in Bangladesh. But these are big on me. The backs are is nice. I think these were like $19. There's a little give here in the pocket, a little reinforcement in the back pocket of these. It's only double stitched, and if I believe that these are hidden stitched, double stitched on the inside, the Dickies, okay? But these are double stitched on the outside. The not a reinforced belt loop here. They are, but the size on the back here, especially the back part, is nice. They're only Velcroed here, and that's pretty much it. So these I used just because I had nothing, and they were like $19, and I was walking by, and they were on sale at Costco, so I got them. Again, both of these. Maybe the Dickies a little bit better for warmer weather, but these definitely not so. Okay, now we're getting into a couple of an area what I just, because I live in a very hot and humid climate for many months out of the year, I really did want to find something light that wicks sweat or is breathable, and also is rugged enough that I could do some real work in. Very difficult to find, I'm not going to lie to you. There's some products out there which I'll mention here at the end that might fit the bill. So once again, I have become kind of a big fan of Wrangler. And the reason why I'm a big fan of Wrangler is because of their affordability. That's it. Wrangler totally has captured what Levi's could have had back in the day. And if you hit it right, you're going to find, especially at Tractor Supply and maybe at Wrangler's website, you're going to find some good deals on these things. So I got these. These aren't really shop pants, but I use them as such. These are the Wrangler ATGs. That means all-terrain gear, basically for hiking or something like that. And there's the, once again, made in Bangladesh. No shocker, huh? There's the number RN 130273. And it's basically nylon and elastane. So, yeah, no, these are not going to be, really, they're not shop pants at all, but I just needed something badly that I could use. They cinch up at the bottom here, so it keeps things out. But the all-terrain gear could be used in the shop for some light work. You know, they got a nice back belt loop, no closing loops on the back pockets. They're double stitched on the seams. The pockets are pretty generous and they give way. The one thing that's weird and is completely useless to me is this thing. It's supposed to be able to cinch it up, and then you can put a belt over it, which I do. But as far as breathability, ATG Wranglers are not bad. But I wanted something tougher. And once again, Wrangler. Now, obviously, I used these, and I did a boneheaded move and got around some paint with them. But these are ripstops. The Wrangler Rigs wear, I really like them. You know, I'm not going to lie. You can find them on sale around 20, 30 bucks. And you might be able to get a good deal on them, especially if you watch places like Amazon, which I did here. If you know anything about rigs, they always have your tape pocket reinforced here. They have generous wide loops. They're not reinforced. And they have the classic Riggs patch on the back. They're breathable. I mean, if you're looking for something that's sort of breathable, you know, the Riggs workwear isn't gonna be bad. There's a leg pocket here for like a putty knife or something like that, a tool, somewhere along those lines. Made in Mexico, and the fabric on this is 100% cotton. It's 100% ripstop cotton. Okay, so they are breathable. I've worn these in the heat. They work pretty well. But this is what I really like. The Wrangler Riggs has a gusseted crotch. And for anybody who has never had one, do yourself a favor and find some gusseted crotch pants of any variety. I love them. They don't bind. They don't, you know, they give you freedom of movement. They give your boys, you know, you're not going to be pinched, to put it nicely. These are my only gusseted ones, and it's because of the Wrangler's Riggs workwear, or at least this particular version of Riggs. Man, I tell you what, I'm going to find more gusseted workwear because of it. They're triple seamed, by the way, and on the legs. And that's, you know what, that is really nice, triple seamed up top as well. But these are light, sort of breathable, and the ripstop makes it a little tougher. So I can't say anything really bad about them so far. I mean, they've done well with me in the heat and humidity. So those two are my kind of go-to pants for the moment. When we're talking about heat and humidity. All right, we're almost at the end. The last thing that I would do, I have not tried these yet, but I saved up for them and got them. Truewerk. I've seen Truewerk being used on, I think it's R&R Buildings on YouTube. You should check that guy out. He builds stuff, carpenters' barns, houses, all sorts of stuff. Great channel. And they use them. But I really was introduced to Truewerk through the most excellent guy on YouTube who talks about workwear, Carl Morawski. He reviewed them at one point and spoke about them. So let's kind of go through it. This is a very light, breathable material. This is their T1. I highly recommend. They're a little spendy. The part number here, is 147. It's not a part number, but I guess a style number. 147752. It's 85% nylon, 15% spandex. And where are these babies made? I don't even know. I thought they might be imported, but I'll flash something up on the screen. I'm not seeing it on the label here. So let's go ahead and continue here. They're only double stitched on the sides, but there's generous pockets. So this is like a cargo pant in a way, sorta. You have a reinforced pocket up here on the left side. You have a pocket here that's also a little bit reinforced here. A zipper pocket on the internal of the front pocket. You have a hanging loop. You have a pocket here with another zippered pocket here on the side, and also a pencil pocket here. You have some freedom of movement in the stitching here where it's kind of gusseted a little bit, which is really nice. This is one on the leg. This cargo on the leg is Velcroed. These two loops here. Big loop on the back. Backs, no buttons, but very, very generous. And if all of these are reinforced, by the way, these belt loops are reinforced underneath. So it has a system that kind of looks like that. They sort of hook together and then they stitch them like that. That's what that means. So double stitched. And then again, one thing about Truewerk, gusseted crotch. I have not worn these yet, but I'm very excited to give them a shot. I wouldn't necessarily use them in the shop when I'm working around oil and whatnot, because you know, I wouldn't want to screw them up so much. But carpentry, gardening, that type of thing, homesteading, doing normal stuff around the property, man, I'll tell you what, these Truewerks, I've heard a lot about, and so I'm going to give them a shot. You kind of have to save up for them. They're about 80 bucks. But you can, you know, first time off, you can get, actually they're about 90 bucks. You can get them, you can get some percentage off. The buttons up the front are dual, double, and they hook in right there. Now I have to say one last thing. Because, you know, if it gets too hot and too humid and you're not like crawling around on the ground all the time, then maybe you get yourself some shorts. Now, I'm going to be trying this stuff out. This is from Duluth Trading. These are their dry on the fly. Okay. And they're made in Indonesia. You can see right here. Made in Indonesia. And they are, if I can find... I don't see the material they're made of. Ah, here we go. And the material they're made of is 97% nylon, 3% spandex, so they have give. Everything on this is, the center is triple stitched, the sides are double stitched, the crotches are all triple stitched, and yes, once again, a gusset. In the crotch. That's, you know, I mean, I really am liking that sort of style. Pretty good for a 5-pocket. The pockets are huge. Okay, they're very big. And the loops are reinforced. Okay, they come up and under and they stitch them together. That's kind of nice. And they're big all the way around. One thing about Duluth, they do a lot of big stitching. The zipper is plastic, but this is metal. The hook, the button in this is metal. And they just have a lot of room for pockets. They have internal pockets with a outside pocket. If you're looking for stuff that wicks sweat, breathable, good in humidity, Truewerk, Duluth, and you know, some of these styles, maybe the rigs that cotton ripstops that I showed you might be in your future. The next thing would be Tractor Supply answer to Truewerk. I got this on sale. They retail for 40 bucks. The Truewerk is around 80, 90, something like that. It's the same material. I sized up. I'm not a 3430. They're made in Vietnam, and the material is 95% nylon, 5% spandex. There's a lot of things on this that are the same as the Truewerk. They have a small gusset. I love that, I have to say. And then they have some reinforcement going on here on the bottom of the pant. Very loose fitting. They have all the pockets you need, which are lined with a mesh. And then also they have a zipper here, a zipper pocket for like a cell phone or something like that. Generally speaking, again, these are the answer to the Truewerk. The belt loops are reinforced, as you can see here. Back pockets are open, reinforced down here. The stitching is only 2-stitch all the way around. You're going to find that the you know, a lot of this stuff is going to be probably not as good as quality as Truewerk, to be honest with you. But if you're on a budget, hey, this works pretty well. And again, they double line here on the legs, especially down low, which is interesting. I'll just show you this here. They kind of do a double stitch down here so it doesn't fray. As far as the zipper and whatnot, it's sort of a combination of the button up here. Remember, Truewerk has 2 of them, if I remember. They are plastic and metal. And then the zipper is plastic. It's not YKK. I have no idea what this is. But, you know, for something that's in, you know, made in Vietnam and on a budget, if you want to get something like what a Truewerk type of experience would look like, then, you know, Ridgecut. And Ridgecut, by the way, is the upline to Blue Mountain at Tractor Supply. They're supposed to be a tougher, longer lasting workwear, whereas the Blue Mountain is sort of a thinner material, and it's also cheaper. But as I showed, I have Blue Mountain work pants made out of cotton canvas or denim, and they work for me pretty well in the shop. One more thing on the Ridgecut side pocket here, that's reinforced, but it's also hook and loop, and you know, it's a pretty generous size here. But anyway, yeah, just to know that there's an option out there. Now, before we end this, there's something that I should probably discuss with you. No matter what kind of pants you get to work in, whether it's canvas, winter, summer, and whatnot, obviously mine have been in summer, it's not going to really matter unless you have something underneath to help you out, and especially in the heat. If you are wearing something, you're always getting rashes or heat rash or something like that, and you're sweating really bad, there's 3 suggestions I have. There's many more out there, but these are just my 3. The first, in affordability, Hanes. Hanes has a sweat wicking fabric here, and the one thing that I think is very needed, and I say this from experience, is some sort of a Joey pouch or something like that. Duluth Trading has these too. I don't have any Duluth Trading, but I hear they're excellent. They're a little on the spendy side. If you're looking for a budget, you can find Hanes, and they do reasonably well. Another one to use, and I got this from Carl Morawski, so I went and got myself a pair. 2-unders are excellent. I can't say enough about them. They also have the Joey pouch here, or the kangaroo pouch, whatever you call it, and they wick sweat. David Archy, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. They don't have a kangaroo or a Joey pouch on it like Duluth Trading, Hanes, and 2-under do. But they're made of bamboo, and they have a pouch to kind of separate things out. I have not used these yet. They're supposed to wick sweat. So I can't say with any reliability whether they work great or not. I can tell you on a budget, 18 bucks for 3 of these. Hanes, very good deal. 2-unders, little spendy, but you're going to be paying somewhere around high 20s, maybe low 30s for 1 pair. David Archy, you can get a good deal on these guys for around 20 bucks. Made of bamboo instead of some of this polyester wick sweating material that they have in here, spandex, nylon, that type of thing. So those 3 things, whatever you wear under your pants, get rid of the cotton, get rid of the boxers, get rid of the tighty-whities, and do yourself and your body and your boys a favor and buy some underwear to go underneath them that wicks sweat. Okay, I couldn't resist. The videos that I did on the underwear for men were a few months ago. So in the ensuing time, and I haven't uploaded the videos, I got Duluth Trading, Bullpen, and Duluth Trading, Bullpen 3D. This is 88% polyester, 12% spandex. If you, but it's got a mesh going on here. One of the things I love bullpens are the it's the Hanes that I've shown. And then we have, I'm not sure if these are the Armachillos or what. Armachillos hanging around here. And this might be, these are the dang softs anyway. These are tensile, 91% tensile, 8% spandex. And they're a little bit different here. The pocket's different to, you know, get your thing out. Here it's on the side. Here it's over the top. And once again, a generous bullpen. Now I have to say, the bullpen here is much more generous than the Hanes. This is more like the Hanes, you see here? Here, on this one here, there's more of a pocket for, you know, things to go. So I just wanted you to know, I've worn them. I've worn them all. I've worn the Hanes, I've worn the 2-unders, I've worn the Duluth Tradings, I've worn the David Archys. David Archys are not bullpenish, they don't have a joey pocket. My favorite ones are the bullpens, something with a joey pocket. The David Archys are fine, they wick sweat and everything, but they don't separate, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that I got these. You know, Duluth is a little spendy. I get all this stuff on sale, as I say constantly. I do not buy them at full price. So I really wait for the deals. And, you know, the Duluth trading stuff, especially their underwear, the bullpen stuff, really pick one. Just pick one. You're going to love it. Although I will say, I do like the dang soft better because of this package here. You know, and for those who know, you know.